Welcome in, y'all. We so excited for today. Let's get those cameras on this evening. We're gonna get started in about 5 to 10 minutes. We're gonna get the room filled up here, and we're gonna let Nasser take over in just a few. But welcome you all to the Real Estate Money Boot Camp. Let me see who we got in the room with us today. We got Angela. What's up, Angela? We got Jason. What's up, Ken and Madeline and Miss Netta? Let's see, we got Daryl. Good to see everybody. Let's go ahead and get those cameras on. This is going to be a live and interactive class tonight. So if you can have your cameras on, that would be phenomenal, just so we can see you, let you ask some questions, really just make this a really powerful class together. So if you can at all possible, let's go ahead and turn those cameras on right now. Okay, I see Angela's ready. What's up, Angela? Good to see you here. Miss Angela came on ready to rock and roll. So it's good to see your face, Miss Brown. But listen, y'all, we're gonna get started in just a few minutes. But I want to know where we got people tuning in from tonight. Let me know in the chat where you're tuning in from. Just put in the chat. Let us know. Let us know where you're tuning in from tonight. Let's not act as strangers tonight. We got Mark from Charleston, South Carolina, Charlotte, North Carolina. Richmond, VA. Okay, I see y'all. Good to see Madeline from Charlotte. Man, we got a lot of Charlotte in the building. Brian from Bradenton, Florida. A lot of Charlotte. Wow, this is amazing, Nas. I don't know if you see this, bro, but we got people from your neck of the woods. We got SC in the building. Okay. Cleveland, Ohio. Gotcha. Well, awesome. This is going to be phenomenal. Let us know in the chat. Who in here has real estate experience? Before Nas comes for 4 minutes, let me know in the chat who has real estate experience, who does not have real estate experience. Let us know in the chat real quick. No experience, Angela says. Okay. No experience. That is totally fine. Who else? Let me see. Brian, do you have experience in real estate or not? John, let us know in the chat. Let me see. Mark, let us know. Mark says I wrote leases and rented out rooms, if that counts. Hey, that counts. None, John says. Donald says no experience, says it. Okay, awesome. And as far as getting property under contract, awesome. Javondre says none, no experience. Okay, cool. So regardless if you're brand new to the game, or you have a little bit of experience, this can be for you, okay? This can be for you. What we're about to show you all tonight is going to be super powerful. You're gonna love it. This information is actually what I've used myself to generate some extra income. Nas has helped many other people generate extra income through this leveraging of real estate. We're going to show you all tonight. And the cool thing is you don't need any credit or any money. Everybody put no credit in the chat. Listen, y'all, I've done wrecked my credit before. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I wrecked my credit in the past. I'm getting it fixed right now, actually. And you don't need credit for this. We're going to show you this week. So there's a few things I would love for you guys to do to maximize this. Good to see you, Shalea. Did I say that right? Miss Shalea, good to see you. So before we get started, number one, can you grab a pen and paper for us, y'all? Go ahead and grab a pen and paper and comment done in the chat after you have a pen and paper that you can take notes with. Because I promise y'all, this information, it could change your life. It's made me thousands of dollars. Nas has made a living over the past decade, over a decade now, doing what you guys are going to learn tonight. So Brian's done, Mark's done, Donald, okay, Angela, Stephanie. I love it. You guys came ready to prepare. The second thing I want you to do is, this is a totally free class, y'all. This is totally free. But I don't want you guys to act like it's a free class. Like, Mike, what do you mean? What I mean is, there was no entry into this, so what's going to tend to happen for a lot of people, because this was a free class, you're just be like, it's okay, I didn't pay anything, I'll just show up to the next one. Life is going to happen. Life is going to be lifing. And you're gonna be tempted to come to this 3-day event. We have 3 days there together. Everybody put 3 in the chat for us real quick. Everybody put 3 in the chat. We're going to spend 3 days together. And I promise you, if you stay each of these days, you're going to get the motivation, inspiration, and information you need to learn how to do this. But I need you all to commit to be here. I want you all to act like you paid Nas $1,000, $2,000, $5,000 to be in these rooms. like Michael, who would pay that amount to be in these rooms? I promise you, I have paid that. Nas knows. Nas has paid himself $15,000-$20,000 to be in rooms like this to learn information. I have myself. Actually, just paid myself $3,000 the other day for a program to learn how to better my skill and my craft. So today, you didn't pay anything. You should act like you did. So everybody drop commit in the chat. If you're going to commit to being here each day, we got the same time, 7:30 tonight, Tuesday and Wednesday. Just put commit in the chat if you're going to be here, and because you know that your future can be different with this information. You know that your life can change if you just take action on what you learn. I love it. Marquise says commit. Let's go. Tamika says commit. Mr. A says commit. Cedric, Jessica, love it. Love it. So listen, lastly, I'm going to say this. Can I just lay all cards on the table, y'all? Can I just be honest with y'all? Yes in the chat. If we can be family, I'll just be honest with you guys. Put a yes in the chat. We can only spend 3 days together. All right, we can only spend 3 days. Do you think we can teach you everything that Nas has learned over 10 to 15 years in 3 days? Like, honestly, everything he knows. Because we're going to be spending about 3 hours together. Do you think we can teach you everything we know? Okay, I see a lot of no's in the chat. You're right. You're correct. We cannot. Now, we're going to try. Okay, we're going to try our best. So, Shalea, Daryl, we're going to do our best to give you as much game as possible. We're actually going to give you an assignment. This is called a boot camp because we're going to be actually giving you plays to run this week. So, we're going to be helping you run the plays. We're going to give you as much information as we can, but I want to be honest, open, and transparent that at the very end, on day 3, we're going to be talking about an opportunity where you can get coached onwards for life. All right? You're like, for life. For life. All right? So I just want to, if you guys are cool with that, if you're cool with us giving you 3 days, an all-out game, information you can take action on, and at the very end, just presenting a special opportunity for those that want to move forward, just put a yes in the chat or cool in the chat if that's okay. I just like to let people know up front because they're like, I'm attending this free class. What's going to be the sale? Listen, let's get it out of the way. 3 days of straight game. At the very end, you could have lifetime coaching with Nas. All right, put a 1 in the chat if you'd like to get lifetime real estate coaching from a guru. No, okay. I said guru, the Doru in real estate, Mr. Nasser himself. All right, let's go. All right, y'all. So listen, I want to go ahead. The room's starting to fill up. We got people watching on YouTube, on Facebook, here in Zoom. We're going to have probably 100+ people pour in throughout the night. Don't leave this room because I don't know if Nas upgraded and Zoom may cap out. I don't know. I haven't talked to him today. He may have upgraded in Zoom and may not have, so don't miss out. But listen, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and introduce my brother from another mother. We're twins. People don't even know it, though. We just separated by geographical locations, but I want to introduce you guys one of the greatest in wholesaling real estate, which you guys are going to learn tonight. Nas has been in the game, y'all, for a while. He's seen the financial crash in 2008, and he learned from it. He said, you know what? I'm not going to let all that happened to other people. I'm not going to let that happen to me. So he said, you know what? I'm going to get in this real estate game, and I'll master it. So ever since 2010-ish, he could probably give you the exact dates, but that he's been committed for the past over a decade, learning real estate. Y'all, he's thousands of people in classes like this. Thousands. So I think it's only fitting if we show him respect this week. If we turn on our cameras. Thank you, Mr. Darrow, for turning on your camera. Crystal, good to see you. Good to see your camera on. Let's show him respect tonight. Turn on those cameras. Get ready. Everybody type a fire emoji in the chat. If you can find that fire emoji, go ahead and drop it in the chat right now to show him how much you appreciate him, how excited you are to learn this game. But listen, y'all, I'm going to pass this over to my guy, Mr. Nasser, the Realestate Doru. You're up, brother. Let's get it.
All right, guys. Listen, I am Nasser, aka the Realestate Doru. We are here for my 3-day challenge. We will be talking about wholesaling. All right, we got started officially at 7:30. We're 5 minutes in. We got about 85 people here. I just want you all to make a promise that you will show up. Show up every day. We got 3 days. 3 days of this. I'm gonna spend the next 3 days with y'all. I'm giving y'all this free information that you can get started. Now, I'm gonna give you contracts and everything of that. So don't worry about that. All right. So, guys, I'm gonna hop right into it. we are here to learn how to wholesale. Okay, we are here to learn how to wholesale. Yes, every day at 7:30. Tomorrow we going to 9 p.m. I believe that's Lindon. So we going to 9 p.m. Glinda was good. So we are going to 9 o'clock tomorrow though. Tonight we're gonna shut it down like in an hour. So 8:30 we're gonna shut it down. But tonight is gonna be our long day because I'm gonna give you a bunch of game, screen sharing and everything. All right. So let's talk about wholesaling houses. What is wholesaling houses? Um, so let's talk about wholesaling houses. I'm going to talk about a deal I'm doing right now in my community, right? So I found for $150,000, right? Um, this house was a referral, came through a friend, found it for like $150,000. And I wanted to I'm this is what I'm doing. I have it under contract. I looked at the property. I had to negotiate, but I got it contract for $150,000 in my community that I live in. Just so happened. And I have a cash buyer lined up for $160,000. Okay. So what I did was I assigned this person the contract for $160,000. Now, on closing day, the buyer is going to wire in 150,000, I'm sorry, $160,000 plus closing costs. So what does that mean? That means that the seller's going to get their 150, I get my 10, he get the house, everybody's happy. Okay? So, I'm gonna do another example. I'm gonna use smaller numbers. Let's say there's a boarded up house in your neighborhood. Now I know most of y'all, you ain't getting no $50,000 house, but I'm gonna use some simple numbers. You find the house boarded up. Particular property, right? Within this particular property, you find it, you call the seller. You say, hey, you have this property at 123 Main Street that's boarded up. It has tall grass. I want to see if you're open to selling it. And they may say, hey, absolutely. We inherited the property. Um, I was born and raised in Charlotte. I live on San Diego. I don't want nothing to do with the property. I'm not going back there. I'm in San Diego with the best weather in the country. So, and I'm married and I own a home out here. So I just want to get rid of it. It's been a headache traveling back to cut the grass and all that. I'm done with the property. So what happens is you say, well, listen, how much you want for the property? He says, man, make me an offer. And you say, well, okay, what if I gave you 40,000? He said, yo, it's yours. So you will then send him over a contract for $40,000. Okay. You will, all right, let's say you get under contract. Now, remember, I didn't say anything about credit, talking to a loan officer, or having a bunch of money, proof of funds. I'm not saying nothing about that. You're just sending the contract over. He signs the contract. You will then take the contract and sell it to a cash buyer. Now, let's say you know John, the cash buyer. You say, John, I got this property at 123 Main Street. I'll sell it to you for $50,000. And John says, all right, let me walk the property. John then walks the property. John then walks the property, and from when he walks the property, he says, you know what? I'll take it. And you then assign him the contract. So you send him an assignment, right? You send him an assignment, and then from you guys sending him, you have a contract, you send him assignment, and in North Carolina, we close with title companies. Some states they use, I'm sorry, in North Carolina, we close with attorneys. Some states use title companies. So you send the paperwork to the attorney. The attorney does the title search. On closing day, John the cash buyer wires in 50,000 plus closing costs. What's gonna happen? Seller gets 40, you get your $10,000. You're on your way. Now, average salary in America is $59,000. Okay? It's $59,000. Average salary in America, $59,000. So, with that being said, if you can make 120, you're doubling average salary in America. All right. So, um, with that being said, with that being said, guys, does everybody understand what a wholesale deal is? Does everybody understand what a wholesale deal is? Right. Okay, now, um, let me see. Somebody said, depending on your state, send your kind of. Yes, that's correct, Linda. All right, so everybody, all right, is there anybody who doesn't? Okay, well, I see Kenya. Kenya. All right, I see you, Kenya. 1 second, Kenya. So Kenya, I'm gonna repeat this for you. All right. Let's say um let's say that oh, looks like we are maxed out at 100. But let's say that, right, Kenya, that you find a ugly house in your neighborhood for $40,000. You call the owner, right? You get it under contract. You didn't sell that contract. You didn't sell that contract for $50,000 to what we call a cash buyer. Remember, no credit, none of that. All right. And you put those two together, the buyer and the seller by a contract and an assignment. All right, you send it to your attorney because you're I'm in North Carolina. We use attorneys to close deals. And what happens is the attorney does a title search. And and what I'm sorry, from there, once the attorney does the title search, what happens next? Well, what happens next is that on closing day, Johnny Cash Buyer is going to wire in $50,000 plus closing costs. Seller gets 40, you get your 10, everybody goes their way. The house is worth $100,000. John's gonna put $20,000 into the house. He's then gonna rent it out or sell it. He's then gonna rent it out or sell it. Okay. He's then going to rent it out or sell it. So from him renting it out or selling it, from him renting it out or selling it, he will then gets the deal, right? And he has his equity. All right. Just so everyone knows, investors like to be 70% all in of whatever it's worth. So if it's worth 100,000, the investor wants to be 70,000 all in. That's buying the house and fixing it up. Some places 75%. In high cost places like Cali, New York, it's going to be, it can be as high as 80%. But that's how the numbers work out. So let me see. All right, so let's talk about my personal story, guys. And today we're going to go over the most important stuff, which is the mindset, right? All right, I finished college in 2007. All right, finished college in 2007. All right. Yes, the cash buyer pays for the attorney. Like, as a wholesaler, you're not paying no fees or nothing. And this is the best option. And I just wanted to explain this to you before I got into my story. Now, college in South Carolina in 2008. All right. Now, for those who don't know, Charlotte, North Carolina, at the time, we're back actually we're number two biggest financial city. So is number one, which is New York, and number two is Charlotte. And I believe number three was like Chicago or something, but we're the number two biggest financial headquarters in the country. All right. So what that means is we're a big banking city. So I got a job in the call center. I was in there for 3 months. All right. Now, my first job with a college degree was making $10 an hour. Now, I was in the call center. I knew right away that ain't no way I went to school for $10 an hour. You know what I'm saying? Like I just was not happy with that. From there, um, from me doing that, right? From me going to school, I'm sorry, from me working at that job, I was there for about 3 months. 3 months. I then worked at Wachovia headquarters. You young people probably don't remember Wachovia, but Wachovia was headquartered here. All right. So I then worked there. And for me working there, at the Wachovia headquarters, for me working there, what I did next was I was there for 2 years, right? Now, at the first job, I was making $10 an hour. Charlotte was cheap. For my Charlotte people, I bought a property in Hidden Valley, a rental property. Okay. I bought another one in 2009 when I was at my second job in Greer Heights. It was like 78,000. The first property was 300 and I'm sorry, the mortgage was $350 and I rented out for 750. The second property, the mortgage was $600 and I rented it out for like 800. Okay. And let me go back to that part. I'm sorry for jumping around, guys. Now, in 2007, I bought my first house at the age of 24. Me and my friend, we bought a house to flip. All right. That's we fix it up, renovate, and sell. To make a long story short, we did everything wrong. We end up losing $7,000 a piece. That was rehabbing. Okay. We lost $7,000 a piece. And then that's when I moved down to Charlotte. And let me pick up when I was back in the call center at Wachovia. Um, can you guys hear me okay? Are you guys hearing me okay? Okay, perfect. All right. So just to let you know, and then we went to the call center. I'm sorry. And I was in the call center. I was miserable as hell. Now, the one thing I started at the age of 26, I started reading books, right? Even though I went to college, I didn't read. Okay. High school, I didn't read. High school, I had a 1.8 GPA. College, I cheated all the way through. Took me 6 years to get a 4-year degree. Okay. Um, and then I started reading at 26. The first book I read was Rich Dad Poor Dad. That book changed my life. All right. That particular book changed my life. Now, with that particular book, it says something that stuck out. Has any book I poured that? I poured that. Anybody read it? Drop a yes if you read it. Currently read it. That's a hell of a book. The book, right, it said before you invest in real estate, you have to learn. I'm sorry, let me start back. Before you invest in stocks, you have to learn about stock investing. Before you invest in real estate, you have to learn about real estate investing. And I said, wait, hold on. I never learned about real estate. I just did it. And I said, yo, let me learn about real estate. I started getting books, started reading, and I joined something called the RIA, Real Estate Investment Association. I was so excited. I used to try to, tell my job, tell my coworkers and everybody about this big dream I had to become a real estate investor. And guys, you never tell your job about your dreams. Don't make that mistake that I did. All right. So I had this big dream about this, right? Telling these people about my real estate dreams and all of that, right? And I'm like, yo, I'm gonna be a full-time investor, flipping houses, etc. So I joined this RIA called Real Estate Investment Association. And from joining that, I learned about something called wholesaling. Now, at the time, I was trying to get a third property, but I couldn't because my debt to income was too high and I was only making $12 an hour. So it was like, oh, bruh, I can't do it. Or whatever the case may be. So I'm like, man, that sucks. um, my real estate investing career was over until I found out about wholesaling because you needed no money or no credit. Like, wait, okay, I can't use my credit no more. I have little money. All right, well, listen, let me hear this thing out. And they were saying how you could make, $5 to $10,000 finding good deals for somebody else. And I said, huh? I said, wait. You can do what? All I gotta do is find a good deal and I can sell it for 5 or 10,000. Yeah. All right. Well, listen, cool. At my job, I was probably making like it was definitely less than 30,000, maybe like 26,000 a year. So you telling me I can make 5K a month, which is 60,000. And back then Charlotte was cheap. So I was like, yo, it's on and popping. All right. It's on and popping. So I got me a mentor in 2011. I got a mentor. And from getting a mentor, he told me to do called driving for dollars. That's when you get in your car, you drive for dollars, meaning that you're looking for tall grass, boarded up homes, ugly houses, roof with holes in it, etc. And you write down the address, the owner, and at that time we send them a postcard. Now you can just call them. And I would do that, man. And so I did that for 8 months straight. Okay. It took me to get my first deal. I could have got a deal month one. Could have got a deal. I'm sorry. I could have quit month one, but I kept going. I could have quit month three, but I kept going. People always ask, how did you stay motivated when you weren't getting no deals? Because at the time, I was at my job. I looked up, I seen people. I remember I'm 26 around this time. 10 years my senior, 20 years my senior, 30 years my senior, and saying, yo, I don't want that life. I don't want that. I just don't, nah, I'm good. Um, like for example, this past weekend, I I just got back from Houston. The reason I was in Houston, I went to a pool party out there, had a great time, but I I didn't come back to a manager. I didn't come back to 150 emails that I got to get down to zero to satisfy corporate and all this. I didn't have to do any of that. So, with that being said, I had a good time. You know what I mean? And I remember when I used to travel back from vacation to come back to my job. Man, you be like, oh boy, I go back in this place, man. Damn, I just had a bunch of fun. Now it's back to reality, back to work. And now when I come back from vacation, I'm fulfilled. I'm excited, I'm motivated. But anyway, I closed my first deal after 8 months. I made $2,000. Didn't make a bunch of money. I made $2,000. All right. That job let me go. All right. End up letting me go. And they were nice about it. It was like in November, they called me in the office and was like, yo, listen, don't come back. We're gonna keep you on the payroll till like January 5th, and that way you could get a severance package, and your severance package would be like 2 or 3 weeks. It was something small, but I was like, all right, well, cool, whatever. To get my severance package, yeah, I go along with this. So then I went and got a fourth job. This is my fourth job in 4 years. And I got fired from there. I done lied on my resume, guys. I told these people I was a master at Excel. Bruh, to this day, I still can't do Excel. So they think, you could do all types of pie charts and all that in Excel. But to this day, I still cannot do Excel. So I was like, nah, I'm not doing that, bro. So they end up firing me, right? And this is how it went down. I knew I was gonna find a write-up, so it wasn't no surprise. They had me feel like I was in 13th grade. Like every Friday, I would have to go to like my manager's office so they could talk about my report and see if they're gonna week. I'm like, all right, cool. And I had two job offers before I got fired, but I was just tired of working for somebody else. I was like, yo, I'm ready to build my own stuff, man. I'm just tired. This ain't for me. They fired me. And they end up, what happened was in September, my grandfather died in September of 2012. And I went to the people. I said, hey, listen, I need a Monday off because I have to go to my grandfather's funeral. And I guess they felt like, man, screw you. You could get buried with him. So had me work the whole day. And at the end of the day, they end up letting me go. Hey, thank you for the opportunity, got out of there. And when I was in my car going home, I was like, man, I hope I never have to work another job again. Went to my grandfather's funeral. I did not tell anybody that I got fired because I didn't want them to be worried about me. All right. I didn't want them to be worried about me at all. Because what happens when people are worried about you, right? They keep calling you. They keep saying, hey, Mark, you gonna be all right? I just did you look for some jobs today? Crystal, did you look for a job today, Crystal? Rashad, did you are you okay? You need me to help you? And I didn't need that in my life at that moment. I knew the direction I wanted to go to. So I didn't need that. I don't need that. So I didn't tell them, right? So here it is, September. I lost my job. I was closing wholesale deals like every other month, not making a bunch of money, but it was a real estate seminar coming up. The real estate seminar was in Dallas, Texas. Now I'm located in Charlotte, North Carolina, aka Buzz City, also known as Queen City. Okay. So I there was at that time there was like this one pod, it was like five real estate podcasts, maybe like two were active because we were in the biggest recession since the Great Depression. So there was this one podcast on wholesaling houses. And he had this was his second year around doing a wholesaling seminar. The first seminar, I said next year, right? I said, yo, I'm not ready yet. I gotta get my money together. I'm gonna go to the seminar next year. See you next year. Now, as humans, as long as we got next week, we never do it. As long as we got tomorrow, we never do it. As long as we got next year, we never do it. So here it is. I'm like, bruh, I just got fired. I know I shouldn't be going, but I think I need to go because I gotta take a risk. I gotta take this risk and this opportunity because I'm not trying to go back to a job. So I took the risk. I had to book a flight. All right. I had to book a flight to Dallas, Texas. Had to buy a ticket to the event. And I had to get a hotel room. And so I just did it. And from there, that event changed my life. And the speaker, he had us all write this letter of a goal as if we already achieved it. There was two letters I wrote. One was to take my father to the Super Bowl in 2014. For those who don't know, I did take my father to the Super Bowl in 2014 when it was in New Jersey. The other, I wanted to make $10,000 in 1 month. So we had to write a letter to ourselves as if we are of a goal, as if we already achieved it. And with this particular goal, right? With this particular goal, the speaker, one of the speakers, he was like, yo, email it to me or whatever, and I'm gonna proofread it. So he was proofreading the letter. He was proofreading the letter, and he was like, "Listen, fix this, fix that." And he was like, "Yo, one more thing, man. You aiming too low. All I want to do is make 10K in 1 month." He was like, "Yo, no, 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 aim bigger." And coming from my environment, I was like, "Aim bigger? What the hell? Like 10,000 is a lot of money, man. I'm from where 500 to get your head knocked off, bro. Like, what are you talking about? Aim bigger? This is big." And I put like 25,000 or 50,000 down on the paper. He's like, all right, good. That's better. Now go out there and make it happen. So when he gave me the letter back, I changed it back to 10,000. So remember, I got fired in September. The event was in September. That November, I made the most money in my life, which at that time, and which was $10,000. All right. I made $10,000. So I had aim low and hit. But this is why you need a mentor in your life so that like, well, you need somebody to guide you. Probably could have done more. But hey, listen, I was good with 10,000. I knew like, well, I ain't going back to no job. You know what I'm saying? And from there, my first full-time year, I made like 100K. all right, the six-figure mark that everybody, talks about. I got back into rehabbing with a mentor, right? I got back into rehabbing houses. I started building my rental portfolio the correct way. I started building houses and I'm still wholesaling houses because that income, really helps out that income. So yes, City, third degree. So that income really helped out for me, that the wholesaling income. And then today you have me. Now, I got my last job September 2012. It was 38. I'm sorry, I was making 38K a year with a college degree. That was my highest paying job that I got. My highest grossing year in real estate, gross, I didn't say net, gross was like 1.8. All right, that was my highest grossing. Okay, that's 1.8, my highest gross. Um, and but I was able to do this through real estate. I was worth 38,000. All right. The people at my job, they used to think I was crazy and nuts. All right. Because I used to have all these ambitious dreams. They used to say things like, "Oh, money's not important. Why do you care? Why do you work so hard? Dude, you're okay. Why do you work so hard?" And I'm like, man, I work so hard because I want more. And I was like, right, condos downtown, 100,000. You can't find them for 100,000 now, but back then it was. I said, yo, I want something out of life. And they're like, man, I ain't important. That was their attitude, right? But I didn't let them discourage me. Now, it was my fault from me telling them my dream and telling them what I wanted to do. Um, and by the time I got to, no, it was by the time I got to like my third job, I knew better. So when they asked me what I'm doing on weekends, oh, I'm just going downtown to party and drink. Even though I never partied, I'm sorry, I never drunk alcohol, I never smoked any weed, but I would tell them that so that they could think I'm just some fool and I don't have big goals. Because what I really want to tell them, like, man, I'm about to go work hard on myself, so I don't got to come back here on Monday. They don't want to hear the truth. So I used to tell them that because I figured out you don't tell your job your dreams or what you got going on because they will throw a monkey wrench in your plans, all right, and mess it all up. So you do not want to do that. Don't discuss big goals with small-minded people, okay? Now, here is a lot of you're going to get this information. And I tell you my personal story because a lot of you are going to get this information. And what you're going to do, you're going to maybe talking to a girlfriend, boyfriend, spouse, or friends or whatever. They're going to say, oh, you can't do that. That doesn't work. Oh, it works. It definitely works. But you have to leave. Okay. If you know you have negative Nancy's in your social circle or in your family, whatever that may be, I'm going to tell you, hey, you might not want to discuss this opportunity with them because all they're gonna do is rain on your parade. And what happens when it rains at the parade? People don't come, people go home, people don't want to be out there, and you're left all alone. All right. So this journey, now it is going to be cold. You are going to be alone, but when you accomplish your goals, it will be so worth it. All right. Once you accomplish your goals, it will be so worth it. All right. I've had students that got their first deal in a month, 2 months. One guy, he did like 3 deals in 2 months or whatever. Everybody timeline is different. Everybody's story is different. But what I want you to do is just commit to not quitting. All right, commit to not quitting. We got to spend Tuesday and Wednesday today together. Today, I just want y'all to focus on mindset, and we're going to talk about goal writing as well. This is extremely important. The reason why this is extremely important because when you don't want shit, you don't do shit. All right, excuse my language, guys, but I gotta repeat this. When you don't want shit, you don't do shit. All right. So now put that in another term. So maybe some of you might not understand it. When you don't want nothing, You don't do nothing. Now I know that's not correct English, but I'm talking slang. For my people who need correct English, when you do not want nothing out of life, you won't do anything in life. Okay? I need you people to be motivated. All right. What motivates you? Okay. Maybe it's a car. You know, I don't mind if that would motivate you to keep going, let it be a car. You know, I thought that would motivated me in my 20s, but once I got fired and started making real money, a car was the further thing for my mind. I thought I don't work for my money. Hell no. I love the peace of mind. I love my rent. At the time, my rent being paid, now my mortgage being paid, and all that. So yes. So with that being said, guys, I need you to want something. Maybe it's taking your family on one vacation a year. I know a guy. He said the reason why he became a full-time real estate investor, he was slaving away in corporate America, and he couldn't afford to take his family on one vacation a year. He was like, "Yo, listen." If I could flip one house and take my family on vacation, he found a house, he flipped it, and he was able to afford a vacation. And he was like, "Yo, I got money, a lot of money left over. I'm about to just quit my job." And that's what he did. Okay. And so with that being said, I need you to find what motivates you, right? And I need your why. And I need you to have a why. A why is, why are you doing this business? Why do you want this, right? My why was, I did not want to work a job the rest of my life. I did not want to work a job the rest of my life. Now, your why should be strong enough to make you cry. All right. I'm gonna repeat. Your why should be strong enough to make you cry. The reason being, it should be strong enough to make you cry is because you have to be committed, right? Like I was committed to not working a job the rest of my life. I was committed to the process. I did what it takes, and I need for you to do what it takes. Wholesaling can literally transform your life. All right. I'm gonna repeat, it can transform your life, right? I'm the average guy. All right. There's nothing special about me. I'm the average guy. I've been able to travel the world. I've been able to take my father to the Super Bowl. Um, three out of, well, two out of three of my cars, I don't have a note on. I only have a lease payment on my BMW, which I got made in Germany. And from they make it in Germany, they shipped it over here and shipped it over here, and I picked it up in Atlanta. But yes, I've been able to do some pretty cool things. Um, in the YouTube room of my house that I own. Okay. But real estate has really blessed me to do cool things that I probably would never be able to do on a job, especially on the track of a call center worker. All right. 70, if I got to, let's say 70,000 a year, right? And I was still working in banking in the call center. Outside the Midwest, there is no major city that I'm thriving on 70,000 a year. Okay. It's just not happening. All right. You need a minimum of 100K, if you want to not only live, but enjoy the city. What do I mean? Like have money for leisure things. Like, know this, some of you may not, but for years I had Hornets season tickets. I don't do it anymore, and they are terrible, but I had season tickets to the Hornets. And that was my way of relaxing my mind and just getting out and enjoying something. Because outside of that, I really don't hang out in the streets. I'm a homebody. And so therefore that was a good thing. But I was able to put myself in a situation to be able to afford it. Now, the seats I had for the last few years was second row behind the basket. They were like $12,000, I believe. They were about 12,000. And from them being about $12,000, they last increased to like 33,000 because Michael Jordan sold the team, the majority stake, and then that person paid 3 billion for it. And they got to get a return on their money. And they offer more perks, and they've been trying to get me to come back, but I'm like, hell no, I ain't paying no 33,000. But it's the fact that, having the freedom and the options, regardless of how you feel about money, money brings options. Okay, money brings options. I want you all to remember that money brings options. So money is not the root of all evil. The love of money is for the root of all evil. When someone has an unhealthy love with money, that's when it becomes wrong and a sin. And what you will notice is people who do anything for money never really have money. All right. They'll do anything for money, but they never really have money. The reason being to do anything for money, but you have to do something for money. And that can be one thing. And you can write out that one thing. Okay. You don't have to do 10 different things to make a bunch of money. Contrary to what the meme says, the average millionaire has 7 streams of income, etc. You can focus on one thing. And I actually read the book, 7 Streams of Income. And with that particular book, they were saying 7 streams of income could be 7 houses. All right. 7 duplexes, whatever you make it, that's 7 streams of income. But I don't want you to focus on seven. I want you to focus on one because I want you to become not only financially stable, I want you to put yourself in a position, right? Put yourself in a position that you can now thrive and you can live the life that you can desire. Real estate does that. All right. I had a former student, he makes $400,000, right? Makes about 400K a year now. He started off with me. His first deal he made like 15,000. I bought it from him, and now he's wholesaling land. And he said he cleared it out like last year. The year before that was his biggest year, making like $400,000. And he worked as a car salesman. If you don't know anything about a car salesman, they work 60 hours a week. 60 hours a week. That's what they work out of these 60 hours a week, right? That they work, they they work 60 hours a week, 7 days a week. There's no days off, right? No days off. And he was able to wholesale because he made it his intention to do so. All right. I just don't want you to tell people that you shouldn't be telling. Sometimes you have to let things go. People are so negative. It's easy to find negativity. After I get off this call with you, if I want to find some negativity, all I have to do is go downstairs, right? Turn on the news, and then I'm gonna get a whole bunch of negativity. Oh, this happened, that happened. I ain't gonna get no good news. And I'm feeding that into my mind. And when you feed that into your mind, that's what you act upon. Some of us, like everything is just low vibration. Like even it was a time where I had to cut out like rap music. I cut out all that wasn't healthy for me. I cleaned up my Facebook because my Facebook, I used to have all these half-naked women on my Facebook probably 13 plus years ago. And it was like once I got into reading, I was like, what am I doing this for? How is this helping me? This ain't helping me do anything. And I started to unfriend that stuff, unlike that stuff, and get that out of my feed. All right. People who always used to come on Facebook with bad news and fight videos. Like I'm a happy spirit. So you coming on my timeline with all these fight videos back to back to back to back. Nah, let me unfriend you. I don't want that in my mind. And we have to be intentional about those things because what you put in your mind is what you're going to act upon. All right. Some of y'all, y'all taking place in these 50-50 debates. All right. Listen, do whatever you want to do that you have to do to make your relationship work. All right. Whatever you do behind closed doors is not your business, not the society's business. Okay. You got guys who don't even have access to gold diggers worrying about gold diggers. All right. You got guys who live in Orangeburg, South Carolina, worrying about a girl needing a date to Ruth Chris. Bruh, ain't even no Ruth Chris in Orangeburg. Why is you worried about if she want Ruth Chris or not? That's none of your concern. All right, none of your concern. All right, I I've seen this girl, like she admitted it, right? And we were in person. She admitted She said, yo, I had to take a social media break because the internet had me upset with men about being cheated on. And she said, you know what? I never been cheated on. I let their problems corrupt my mind, and now I was on alert. All right. Like, be mindful of what you put in. Like, don't take place in this gender war. All right. And I have multiple female friends who said like they went on dates, they on these apps, went on dates, and they get a podcast question. So who should get served the plate first? Like, why do we come up with these hypothetical situations that chances are you're probably not going to be in? And when a person doesn't answer your hypothetical question correctly, then there are a bad person to your hypothetical situation. Like it doesn't make sense. So be mindful of what you put into your mind. All right. Your mind is your most important real estate, guys. Um, yeah, like yes, your mind's your most important real estate, guys. Don't worry about things that don't concern you. Right now, you need to focus on your goals. All right. To this day, I still on Mondays, I listen to Eric Thomas, a hip hop preacher, like as he puts out his positive message and things of that nature while I'm working because I want positive stuff in my mind. All right. In my office, in my YouTube room, there's no like TV where I can see, hey, let me turn on the TV. No, I don't need that. I need to get in there and work and make things happen and get deals under contract. Okay. So that's important to me. So um let me see. 1 second. Now I'm gonna have some homework for you guys. I want you to write. You could take a picture of it. You can put it in your phone. I'm sure my Android users, you have notes, a note in your phone. Like Apple, we have something called notes. I'm sure you guys have it. I'm an iPhone guy. I'm gonna admit, Android do take better pictures, does more. But I'm an Apple guy, but I am older. I like to write my goals down on paper because I'm an old school guy. But my niece, she's like 26, so she does everything on her phone. So some of you might put in your notes, whatever the case may be. I was reading this book, and I've been doing this since about 2011. When you write down, this book was by Brian Tracy. And when you write down your goals, what I will, it becomes more powerful. I will make $100,000 a year. I will, I will, um, I will make $100,000 a year. I will spend more time with my kids. I will call my aunt in Utah. Your goals don't have to be monetary. All right. There's not one way, like your goals do not have to be monetary. Your goals can be whatever it is that makes you happy. Now, with your goals, I want you to be exact. Like I will make 100,000. I will, wholesale 5 deals before the year is out. I want you to put a number on it. All right. I want you to put a number. I want you to be exact. All right. But I wanted to start with I will. Okay. Whatever that may be. I will read a book this year. I would read 3 books this year, whatever the case may be. Like, guys, I'm getting back into reading heavy because my early entrepreneurs, I was gun ho. But my goal is I will read 6 books this year and I'll listen to 10. All right. So, but I want you to start off with I will. And then why? I want you to write your why for this business. Why do you want this? Why do you want this to work? And if you can be so kind, I want you to drop it in the Facebook group, the free Facebook group. Team, can you drop the link to the Facebook group? And you can take a picture of your goals. You can, write them in there. That's what you plan to do. But I want you to take a picture of it. That's going to be your homework. All right. Now, in the meantime, Mike, you got your camera on, Mike? Can you turn your camera
Yeah, I'm
on?
here. Give me 1 second, brother.
All right, thank you. Hey, team, can you, Vanessa, Can you bring Mike up on stage for me?
All right, I'm here, bro. Sorry about that.
Not you, Mike.
Oh, not me?
I no, it's another Mike on there with it that's got his camera on.
My bad. Is it
Uh,
uh is it Mike? There's two Michaels.
okay, all
There's
right, Mike, that's waving. Mike, he's waving. Wait, let me see. How do I do this? There we go. All right, Mike, can you unmute yourself? Well, I'll unmute you. You gotta unmute him. Anybody can unmute yourself?
Yeah, thank you, man. You can hear me?
Is that's not the mic on screen? I need the mic on screen to unmute yourself. All right, 1 second. He's
Hey
on the
Nas,
screen.
we got Michael's iPhone. Is that who you're talking about?
No, Mike is on screen right now. He's pinned to the screen. That mic that's waving.
Oh no,
Okay,
not
no,
me. I'm sorry.
he's not pinned on my side. Let me see. Sorry, y'all.
Okay. All right. W2
There's
Mike.
another
All
there's
right,
another mic, but I can't see on my side. 1 second.
I got it. I unmute it. Hey,
There you
Mike.
go.
Mike,
Hey, good evening, everyone. How y'all doing? Can you hear me clear, Nas?
I can hear you perfectly, Mike. Thank you for being patient with us. Now, Mike, I want you before I let you guys go with the homework. Mike is a student of mine, and Mike joined a year or two ago. But I just want Mike to explain, like, because remember, this is very important today. We're doing mindset today. I want Mike to explain his experience working me, the deal he closed, and just in real estate, journey in real estate. Mike, I'm gonna hand it over to you.
Okay, well, hey, good evening, everyone. Appreciate you bringing me up, Nas. So my name is Mike. I joined Nas's mentorship program roughly a year and a half ago, and I was just kind of checking it out, right? I had no idea about wholesaling. I did have some experience in real estate since some family members own multiple properties throughout the U.S., and I own the property myself, but I didn't understand what wholesaling was. I didn't understand how you made money, right? So I joined the program, and I was one of those guys who kind of just said, "Hey, you know what? Let me get the highest program I can and go from there and learn as much as I can." So what throughout that whole period, for a whole year, all I was doing was just plugging in and learning, plugging in and learning. And Nas would bring up amazing people to, definitely speak to us, people in different facets of the industry, how they're making money, how they're doing things. And that was when I was really bought in because of the fact that, hey, he was putting on he was on a platform and bringing other people to help educate us, right? And he would be like, hey, if I don't know something, I'm gonna find the answer for y'all, right? And the biggest thing I got from the program was the openness from Nas, right? If you had a question, no matter if you thought if it was dumb or not, he would answer it, or he would be like, hey, I don't know. And through that experience is how I learned, because everyone else in the program was asking questions, right? And you don't know what you don't know. So I learned a lot from that. I love the material he put out. I went over it several times, and just upon learning about stuff, like I said, I wasn't really out there doing anything. And, I got laid off from my job earlier this year. And I was like, you know what? Everything I learned, I'm going to put into play. So just from working with Nas and his team and being around other wholesalers, I opened up my own wholesale journey, right? So I went into land, and within 2 to 3 weeks, we had roughly seven people on the contract, right? And within 30 days, we closed our first deal, and it was a net profit of roughly $6,600, right? So I made $6,600 off of a deal, right? That really took me probably an hour and a half worth of work. And the good thing about what we do, this industry, and what Nas teaches is that everything has been simplified due to technology, because the person, the actual seller, didn't speak any English. So we were texting back and forth. He would text in Spanish, and I'll Google Translate, right? And I'll put my message, Google translated to Spanish, and that's how we were able to make this deal happen. And right now we're working on other deals. Just talking to a guy today who wants to buy another two plots of land. So that's amazing. And for it was the whole journey. and just journeying, just learning everything and trying to branch out. And the thing that stuck most with me is the fact I have someone who was willing to teach me everything I didn't know. And even if he taught me, he didn't mind teaching it again. So Nas and his team, and everything he puts out was a great resource to me finding the deal and getting other people's perspective. And that's where my journey is right now. And right now, like I said, we have 2 deals right now we're trying to close by the end of this week. We're pushing hard. I'm definitely enjoying this. And guys, this thing does work, because you have to think about, you're not only wholesaling in your local area, but you have the whole entire US available if you want. So it really does work. I recommend you guys plug in, take advantage of what Nas and his team have to offer, and just really do the work to be successful. And that's all I got.
All right, Mike, I appreciate you coming on. Thanks a lot, man.
Anytime, Nas.
All right, bye. All right, so guys, look, I brung him on. The reason why I brung him on is because I just want you to visually see the possibilities that it can happen. 90 minutes of work, $6,600 check. 90, 90 minutes of work. It sounds crazy until you do it. It can be done. It sounds very crazy until you do it. Now, y'all know how everybody on the internet, they arguing over this guy who has $100,000. Everybody want to make $100,000, six figures, blah, blah. Listen, I'm not coming off arrogant, but let me say this to you. Once you get in this industry and you get the flow down pack, right? Making $100,000 will not become the most difficult thing anymore. That will be easy. That will be a few months or so. Okay. Once you get into the flow. I'm saying this to let you know once you get it down, that's it becomes easier. Now, guess what, guys? I'm not smarter than anybody on this call. My man Mike Tucker, that's I'm about to bring on to bring us home. Yo, listen, he's not smarter than you. I'm telling you, nobody's smarter than you. They just have access to information that you don't have. That's all it is. They have access to information that you don't have. Now, what we're going to do, I want you to remember, I need you to do the homework. We put the Facebook group in the chat. The homework is write down your goals, start with I will. I want you definitely to have how much you want to make via wholesaling or how many deals you want to close via wholesaling, but all your goals doesn't have to be monetary. It can be spend more times with siblings, call siblings, take your family to the buffet. Everything doesn't have to be monetary, okay? But I just need you to write those down, read more books, etc. And write your why. You can take a picture of it I would like for you to share it in the group so I can see it. And yeah, that's that. Hey, Tucker, can you take us home?
Yes, I'm here now. Sorry about that earlier, man. We got too many Michaels in this group. So shout out to all the Mikes and the Michaels in here. But listen, y'all, we want to shout out to everybody who stayed on. We know the room capped out, so we appreciate you guys for hanging in here and holding your spot. A few things just to note. Number one, tomorrow we're going to start getting into how to find properties. We're going to share our screen and actually show you software and tools we use a little bit deeper than what you learned today, because you kind of got the ground basis. But we're actually going to give you homework tomorrow, like to actually start going and finding deals. So if you're like, man, like I want some like deep actionable stuff, be here tomorrow, because we have homework tomorrow that's going to make you actually put in some work. And then on the last day, we're actually going to show you how to go find cash buyers, right? So you got to find the deals and evaluate the deals and then find cash buyers for them. So if your question was, hey, how do we find cash buyers? We'll show you on day 3 how to do that. So don't miss out. Now, there's a few people in here. You just got in by a random Zoom link and you didn't even register for this event. Was that anybody in here? You just got a random Zoom link from Nas saying, yo, I'm live. If that's you and you want to officially register to get in the room tomorrow, KG says, yep, that was me. If you want to get in the room tomorrow, it's free to register for this class, by the way. It's free. So what I want you to do is go to nomoneyflipping.com. It's nomoneyflipping.com. You can just go there. I want you to go RSVP so tomorrow you get in the room. Remember, we only had 100 spots, so I don't want you to miss out. So I want you to get the Zoom link first get in and be in the room. So go save your free seat now. If you do want to upgrade to VIP, my team's going to drop that link. VIP, you should get a link tonight or tomorrow to submit a question to ask to Nas. So what we're going to be doing tomorrow at the beginning of the session, we're going to answer some questions, and we're going to do that each day. We're just going to take 5, 10, 15 minutes to answer your questions, but then also VIP, you get the replay. So if you're like, man, I want to keep this information for life, you can upgrade to VIP. It's very little amount. I don't even know how much it is, but I think it's like less than 50 bucks. You guys can get the replays of this same boot camp for life. Okay. So just know, regardless, go to nomoneyflipping.com to get your free seat saved. So you get your Zoom link tomorrow. Okay. Is that cool? Everybody put cool in the chat. If you understand the assignment to go RS at nomoneyflipping.com tonight. All right, cool. Daryl's cool. Michael's cool. Let's go. Madeline's cool. All right, y'all. So tomorrow we're going to be here at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be in the room. It's going to be powerful. And I'm actually going to show you guys this week as well how I made $5,000 just from my couch. One of my friends reaching out to me needing to sell a house, and how I made $5,000 just by connecting the dots and doing what Nas is teaching you guys. All right. So be in the room tomorrow. I'm going to lay all that out. Nas is going to lay out some more game. But y'all go in the Facebook group, go do your assignment tonight. We take action now, right? We don't take action tomorrow. We know that success loves speed. And if you want to win in life and in business, you have to take action fast. So everybody put the word now in the chat. So this is what I want you all to do right when we end this out. Don't go grab a snack. Don't go anywhere. I want you to go do your assignment ASAP. Just act like this Zoom was still live. Go do it now. Take action. Let's execute, y'all, because your future is on the line, y'all. So with that being said, we'll see you all tomorrow. We appreciate you. Nas, have a good night, man. Peace.